rate. I mean, when I gave you those figures right away, you said, wow. I mean, you could tell just like that, there's a problem.
What would you say to somebody if they got an appraisal that they felt was well off of, at least the cap rate is well off of where their market cap rate is? In this exact scenario, how would they know that those buildings or those assets it was being compared to were distressed? How could they find that out?
Well, I think it might be tough, but one thing I would do, and this is what I did. I went to citydata.com and I wanted to show the difference in the cities. Okay. So I wanted to show crime rate. I mean, when I gave you those figures right away, you said, wow. I mean, you could tell just like that, there's a problem. Those are not the same. Those are not the same cities. It's not comparable at all, not even close. So that's one thing I could suggest to people to try and do. Maybe if you're out of state, or if you're don't know the market real well, maybe that might be a way to do it. But that would probably be my best suggestion.
Okay. So how does this end? So you go back to the appraiser, you say, hey, look, I'm assuming you took the paper and like just threw it at them, right? Like you crumbled it up like in a movie and just tossed it at them, right?
Yeah. We had we were working with local commercial capital, so they were very helpful. So what happened was, I went to them, Chad Hoffmeyer went to him and said, hey, here's the issue. He jumped on it. He was all over it. So I put an email together. I worded it, as politely as possible. Believe me, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I appreciate the appraiser. And I just said, here's the issues. I also tapped into my network too. And my old boss reached out to him and said, hey, I'm my property's being compared to the properties you bought that were distressed. And he said, absolutely not. Hey, he gave me some documentation supporting my claim. So we had that. So now we were armed with that. Chad Hoffmeyer also tapped into some brokers, some local commercial brokers here in the area, kind of told them and asked them, hey, what's your take on the market? And which was fantastic, because now you had two brokers that came up and said, we respectfully have to disagree with that 8.25 cap rate in Trenton. And, they told them what their opinion is. And, that's just the power of tapping into your network and networking. So I was fortunate. Chad had those connections. I had those connections. So really, we all came together and got this down. It was 8.25, and they brought it down to a 7.4 cap rate, which is great in my opinion. I think it should be a little less than that, but I'm not going to argue that. We said that that's fair enough. That valued the building at